So it is good morning, afternoon, evening to everyone joining us today. It's a warm welcome in Accra, as we say it in Ghana. My name is Ruby Golo, the Executive Director for Global Chamber in Ghana. For those of you joining us for the first time, Global Chamber is the only chamber of commerce dotted in different locations across the globe. Our work is to connect businesses globally for no need for you to travel outside your home country to connect to trusted business people. So if you like what we do today and you would like to know more about how to become a member, then please feel free to get in touch with me offline. I'm so excited to be hosting this event today. We actually meet every last Tuesdays of the month, and since we are still in the Ghana month, as many of you will know, 6 March is our independence, and it also happens that India celebrates Holi, which is the celebration of colors. And so we thought that why don't we do a joint event to celebrate our cultures and our food together, because I believe that food brings people together. I know you all love food. I do love food. I do love Indian food as well, as much as the Ghanaian cuisine. And so today we have 2 people that will be presenting to us, one from the Ghana side and one from the Indian side. So without much ado, I would like to start to introduce my good friend, Fred Akpalu. He is the founder and creative director and gastronomist of Villa Grace, based here in Accra. He holds a bachelor degree in hospitality management and an MBA with specialization in marketing from Lane Investing in Florida. Prior to him establishing his business, he worked with the Marriott Group in South Florida. He has many clients and has managed many successful events. His 2 most memorable experiences since the launch of his company in 2015 has been catering, for the Queen of Denmark, Her Majesty Margaret II, and a private dinner with the Facebook CFO, Chris Coss as well. So not only is he connected locally, he is connected globally, internationally, and has VIP clients as well. He was in fact listed to Forbes Africa 30 under 30 for his drive and commitment to business growth on the continent. He is specifically interested in advancing the world of culinary and gastronomy in Accra and beyond. We couldn't just have chosen any other person to present on Ghana and to share the cuisines that we have on offer. And so on this note, it is my pleasure to welcome Fred to take it away. Fred, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Thanks everybody for joining us. I'm excited to be here. Like Ruby said, this month for Ghanaians is particularly special as we celebrate independence and what that means to us. For me in food service and for those of us in the culinary industry, it's been an opportunity to be expressive of the Ghanaian cuisine and finding ways to, for me, merge it with the Western world, so making it a bit more Westernized. In fact, it was quite interesting when Ruby first reached out to me, because over Independence Weekend, we had actually held an event in collaboration with one of our Ghanaian partners, where we had an Independence Day menu, paying homage to the culture in Ghana and the foods in Ghana, but giving them all a modern twist and elevating the concept so that it was more appropriate, I suppose, for a foreign palate. So, food, as some of you may or may not know, Africans is a very integral part of our society. It brings us together for many different reasons. We sit and we dine, and it's a subject for so many different things: family, business, personal, and what have we. So I'm excited to also learn from this forum as we connect globally, and what food does and what it means to all of us.
Thank you, Fred. You may want to maybe highlight on some of the food that we have, like jollof and wache and all that, so
Right.
that some of our audience will appreciate what we've got to offer.
Right. So particularly with rice, rice here is a staple, is a very, very staple carb or staple starch for us in Ghana. Jollof being the most common one. I'm sure you've all heard about the jollof wars that often happens between Ghana and Nigeria. And Ghana, of course, with the far lead. If there are any Nigerians on here, we can take that up later. But jollof being the most common one, jollof is a rice. I like to describe it as a rice braised in a tomato-based stew, spice infused. For the Indians, I guess we could kind of liken it to a biryani, kind of maybe, in sense of what that could be. But for that, the jollof rice is it's a classic staple, very flavorful, moist, smoky, often accompanied with a protein, so a fish, egg, meat of some sort, and it's not indigenous to Ghana, actually. It's actually indigenous to Senegal, but Ghanaians have definitely taken it and made it their own. So you across all the cultures and the different regions across Ghana, you'll find that everybody eats jollof. No one region or tribe claims it. We all enjoy it. We also have very popularly street food known as wache, authentically known as shinkafa di wache, which is basically rice and beans. It is indigenous to the northern part of Ghana. And it's again rice made and cooked with beans, black-eyed beans, with a couple of other local herbs and spices. Also accompanied with a stew, a chili, which we call shito, which is cooked from smoked dry fish. And then we often will have it with a bit of gari, which is what I call a cassava dust, basically like a grained cassava, and some egg and fish and meat. We like eggs in Ghana a lot. So wache is also a staple. Wache is one of those things that you can eat at 6 in the morning or 6 at night. It's an all-day meal. There's no guidelines or rules as to when one can indulge in some good wache. So that's also a big Ghanaian staple when it comes to rice in Ghana. And then most commonly in households, as rice remains a staple item, rice and stew is very common in Ghana. We make different stews in Ghana with spinach, with okra, with garden eggs, with tomatoes, vegetables and proteins and stuff. And it's very common in any Ghanaian household with any tribe to have a stew of some sort with rice, So that's so on the rice side, those are all very common dishes you'll find. Of course, there are other dishes, indigenous dishes that are known to Ghana: fufu and soup, banku and okro, and things of that nature. But in terms of rice, I think that for me, the top 3 would definitely be shinkafa di wache, jollof rice, and the basic classic rice and stew.
That was awesome. Thank you so much. You've presented it so nicely. And for me, having traveled the world extensively in my previous work life and even now, I tend to not find Ghanaian, cuisines whenever I travel. And that is one of the reasons why we want to support one of our own. She is a member of the Global Chamber based in India. And she's in the person of Mona Contractor. Many of you joining today will know her, and she may not need too much introduction, but for those joining us for the first time, she's the owner of Instantly Yours. They are food manufacturing company based in India. And what amazes me is they are able to kind of package any kind of food recipe that is able to kind of stay, 12 to 18 months without having to refrigerate it. And I find that, quite interesting. So I asked myself, how can we add value to the Ghanaian cuisine such that we don't only have it locally, but we can see it anywhere in the world when we travel around. So on this note, I will want to hand over the floor to Mona so she can tell us more about herself, her culture, the Indian food, and the facility that she has, and how she can add value to our local food, especially for those joining us today who, one way or the other, will want to take their food industry or business to the next level. So Mona, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Ruby. Thank you so much for this opportunity for me to present. And I'm so excited today to talk about Indian food. And, and I'm so happy to know that there is similarity between Indian rice cuisine, like the cholo rice, and, like he rightly said, biryani. So let me let's just keep the facility aside. I'll talk about biryani as to how we make it. So I've just got a couple of slides that I would like to show as to how we kind of make biryani. It won't be boring, I promise you all. Can I share it? Can I share screen?
Yes,
yes,
please
I
go
can.
ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is basically the traditional, actually I'm a vegetarian, we are vegetarians, so that's what I'm talking about, vegetarian biryani. But in India, mainly biryani means lamb biryani or chicken biryani. So you can always add your chicken, but this is the vegetarian one that I'm going to talk about. It's just another rice dish, but extremely flavorful. So the ingredients is basmati, along with vegetables, and main ingredients is like the spices, that is the cloves, the cardamoms, and ginger and garlic and turmeric and things like that, rose water, saffron, some garam masala, along with yogurt and tomato puree. So we kind of roast the spices and add some yogurt and tomato puree. We cook that, and then we give that flavor to the vegetables and the rice. So if you are non-vegetarian, you can always cook your lamb in these spices along with the yogurt, and then add rice to it, and that gives a very wonderful flavor. So it's a one set meal which we have it for celebration, in our country. And biryani is like different everywhere. So the region that I come from, we have another set of biryani, but the most popular biryani is Hyderabad, which is like the eastern part of the country, and Lucknow. And of course, Kerala biryani, which is like, again, very different from the rest. But you go any part of the country, you will find this particular type of food available, which is called biryani. Then we have, this is the final make, and I've actually got some today, which I can show y'all. So we always put our food in earthen pot, so that I hope y'all can see it. Can y'all see it?
Yes, we can.
Yeah, okay. So we put it in the earthen pot because, biryani has so many flavors. So, we also want the food to take the flavor of the earth, So we keep it in the earthen pot, and that gives a very, very nice flavor. Now I'm going to show you another form of, which is like comfort food, which is eaten.
Mona, but
yeah,
just show the pot right now, no, so that without the slide,
sure.
It will be better visible.
Yeah, sure. Can everybody see it? Can everybody see
yes.
it?
Yes, I can see.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. Okay, now I'm sharing. This is actually one of my favorites. It's a very simple food. So when you don't know what to cook, this is what you cook. We cook khichdi. So it's very simple concoction where you just make rice and lentils together with some little spice, not very spicy, just little bit of clove and cinnamon or something like that, whatever you like, jeera. And then you just cook it in a cooker, and then you just eat it. This is prepared in 15 minutes. So Actually, our government thought that, this is going to be our national dish at one point of time, but no, they've not decided upon any national dish because, our country is so vast and so saturated that, there'll be a huge controversy. So this is like a comfort food. You're not well, you eat khichdi. You're well, you eat khichdi. You're bored, you eat khichdi. So it's like that. So the other form of which is very similar to your cassava, is this is what the khichdi looks like, and this is the sabudana khichdi, which is very prominent in the region that I come from. That's Maharashtra. So this is like the breakfast dish. Sabudana is basically tapioca balls, which is like Indian cassava. So this is very yummy, and you guys must come and try this breakfast item when you come to India. So this is what I thought I'll just make it a little fun and talk about the things that we cook. Now, sabudana is something we don't cook in our factory because retort method does not encourage dry things except for biryani. So we make biryani in our facility. So Ruby, can I share the presentation of shall I share the presentation or the video?
Yes, any will do.
Okay, so I'll share the presentation. It's a one second. So I'll just talk about what we. So this is of a factory in Surat, and we make food. The process is retort, and when the food is made, it's prepared in a very, very hygienic environment, and it is packed in a premium foliate pouches or boxes. And then it goes through a sterilization process, which is called the retort method, where they kill all the microorganisms for it to last for a 12 to 18 month period. After that, there is a 14 days of incubation period, and then it is good to go. Then we send out the food wherever is required. So our USP is mainly the taste. We focused really a lot on taste and the nutrition part. We don't put any preservative. That was challenging, but it was, we had to do it. So, and because this is what we wanted. No artificial flavors, no colors, nothing like MSG or umami. Then our other USP is our state-of-art manufacturing unit. It's in the food park, which is assigned by the government. The area is assigned by the government. And it has currently the capacity of 20 tons of produce each day. All the machines and the equipments are internationally compliant. We have got the British Retail Consortium certificate, and we've hired very professional staff who take care of the facility extremely well. What I'm looking at is connecting with hotels, because in the main kitchens, our gravies will go really well, because that will save a lot of time of labor and a lot of time to serve them a dish, maybe another 10 to 15 minutes, where you just cut your veggies or your meat or your protein, and then you can serve it to people. Of course, same goes for restaurants and caterers. It really makes their life easy. And retailers. So if you are into a retail chain, you can, we'll do a private label for you. We can put your own label. We can actually make your recipe. So Ruby, if you want to make jollo rice and sell it in Ghana, of course, please come down and, give us your recipes and we'll make it for you. And we facilitate manufacturing for people who want to do it. And this is our short menu. I can share the presentation so you all can have a look at it, but all this can be done in retort method. These are the rice variants, and these are the gravies which go in Indian kitchen very well abroad, because people ask for this kind of gravies, and they want to put cottage cheese, or they want to put chicken, or they want to put lamb. So all these gravies are compliant with all of that. We also give combo meals like trays along with rice and different combination. Now, this is what we have right now, but if you have any ideas, we are here to entertain you for that. We can make according to what you like it. These are the sweets that are comfortable with the retort method. Also, retort method has certain restrictions. So you cannot make idli, mendu vada, that kind of Indian snack in retort method. So that's the reason we have fixed a menu, so you can see that, you have to come down and see that, what is compliant with the retort method. So thank you very much. And I'll just play a short video if you allow me, Ruby.
Yes, please go ahead.
This is just a 1.5 minute video, which you all can see. And this has basically, I'm sorry, we are trying to make a video of the facility, but it's taking time. So I'm sharing something like a slideshow. 1 second. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for listening to me. And if you have any questions, I'll be very happy to answer. Or Ruby, I give the floor to you now.
Thank you.
Thank
That
you.
was
Thank you
great.
so much.
Thank you, Mona. And so the floor is open. We want to hear from the audience. I'm sure one way or the other, you have experienced Ghanaian cuisine or Indian cuisine. So if you want to comment or ask questions, I see that, the whole idea is to, give opportunities to hotels, restaurants, chefs, caterers who are joining us today that want to take advantage of this opportunity to work with Mona and her team. We plan to organize maybe a visit to her facility in India, depending on the number of interest that we will get as a result of this event. So people can see at first hand what, the facility they've got and how the process goes. So the floor is open. Please feel free to share your experience. Your questions are welcome. I see the team from Golden Tulip here. Can you hear me? I think your mic is off.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, I hope that was useful. If you have any questions, we were expecting the team from Melcom Ghana as well. I don't know if they are in here. I see Nihi in Nigeria joined. We've always had a Jollof war with Nigeria. And later today, we'll actually be playing them for the World Cup qualifiers. So it's going to be another war tonight. Thanks, Nihi, for joining.
Yeah, thank you. We hope to celebrate the Jollof win again today. Thank you very much.
I think the room is too quiet. We want questions, comments, share your experience. Those who have tried the Ghanaian cuisine or Indian cuisine, whatever your experience has been. If you have specific questions for Mona, please feel free to let them flow.
I'll also leave my contact details in the chat so they can, I mean, if you have any questions, you can always shoot an email to me. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention that this month is also a very special month for us because due to the arrival of spring, we just celebrated Holi. And it's a festival of colors, you know, so it's that's how we welcome spring. And now few days from now we are going to celebrate the new year, which is the Lunar New Year, which is called Gudi Padwa, followed by 9 nights dedicated to the mother goddess. So there is a lot of celebration for us as well. March, April is usually the time for this for us. So that's how we celebrate our spring. But everybody welcome to shoot an email to me and ask me any questions related to food, Indian food, or as well as India as well, because I'm also into travel and I specialize in the Indian subcontinent. So thank you, everyone. And thank you, Ruby and Doug, for this opportunity to give me this floor to talk. Thank you.
You're welcome, Mona. We do have our CEO joining us today, Doug. If you want to say some few words to us, that would be great.
Oh, my pleasure. You're making me very hungry. So the foods that you're talking about, the Ghanaian foods that you're talking about, what's your experience in terms of when we're in Accra the next time? Where should we go other than Ruby, your home and people's houses, which I'm sure the food is amazing? Are there particular restaurants that you normally recommend? Are there street places where we should be going? You know, and then are there some opportunities on the business side in the food and beverage industry? I'm wondering if you could mention that as well.
If I may, I'll throw that to Fred to comment, and then I will come in to add my bit because he's the expert when it comes to the food industry.
Can you reiterate your question again, please?
Sure. I just was asking about the next time we're in Accra, you know, considering the food that we're talking about today, where should we go other than maybe your house and Ruby's house may not be available every day when we're there? Are there places on the street? Are there particular restaurants? Are there regions within the city, regions within the country we should be considering to visit?
Okay, so I mean, the capital is Accra, and that's more than likely where you're going to fly into, because that's the only international airport that we do have. Wache, which was the first dish I spoke about, the second dish, the rice and beans, is very common. It's street food, so it can be found everywhere. However, I will warn you that if you're coming into Ghana, it's probably best that you go to a trusted restaurant like the Buka in Osu, or even the Golden Tulip. They have a good Sunday African buffet, since they're on here. So because you want to go somewhere that's also kind of safe, food hygiene, safety, etc. When indulging in the Ghanaian cuisine. The street food might be a bit too harsh on your stomach for a first timer. So you can still have wache and jollof rice and all that stuff, but I would do the Buka restaurant. I would do the Golden Tulip. Those two primarily are known for African. Golden Tulip on Sundays, right, Mami? On Sundays, they have an elaborate African buffet.
Yeah, and I see Mami is on here, so if you want to add on to that.
Yes, I would like to add on. I think the just past speaker said it all. Golden Tulip on Sunday has this elaborate Ghanaian dishes. It cut across all the regions of Ghana. We showcase all the dishes, the cuisines you can think of. And so you are very sure of having something interesting, nutritious to have. It's not only day we have good cuisine, something from Sunday, very indigenous Ghanaian dishes. Sunday Golden Tulip is the place to be when you're in Ghana.
Thank you, Mami. Just to add on to that, we have a lot of other eateries and restaurants and hotels in the city as well.
Can I show you that?
So for anyone traveling on business, we are happy to recommend if you let us know your travel dates and all that, we can actually help you arrange your meeting, etc. as well. Do we have any other chefs or caterers, any other person within the food industry that wants to take the floor? I want to say that the chat box is available. You can use it to put in your contact details. It's a networking event. Try to connect with somebody new, get to know them, and see if there's any possibility of working together or collaborating. It's all about building relationships. So feel free to put your full details in the chat box.
Ruby?
Yes.
I don't see Salam from Ethiopia here in the call today, but I know her family is very involved in the restaurant business. They own the oldest Ethiopian restaurant in the Phoenix metropolitan area. It's been in business for over 25 years. The mother and the children are still involved with the business. One of the things about Ethiopian food is that eating with your hands, and then also using that kind of like also tortilla. I forget the name of what that's called, but it's definitely, I don't think rice base. It's some other grain base. How would you contrast Ethiopian food with Ghanaian food? Ghanaian food seems more straightforward and more probably aligned with how more people would be thinking about how to eat the food and how to interact with the food.
Yeah, I think the similarities there are we like to eat our food with our hands. So very similar to what happens in Ethiopia. And I'm sure the flavors are quite similar, Fred, if I'm correct. And
that's
so,
how we eat in India.
Exactly. So I think we share those common cultures and the way we eat and appreciate our food.
But also, I think, just the way we cook in terms of, meals that are very, we tend to build on flavor. So the meals are all flavor packed, and there's a story with each spice and each herb and each process when we're cooking.
Yes.
And I think the Indians are similar as well, in the way that you guys build flavor, because, Indian food is extremely flavorful. There's a big Indian community here. So there's lots of nice Indian restaurants here as well, with very tasty food and very well constructed food.
With Indian food, it tends to be, as you say, very flavorful. It also takes a long time to prepare. Many times, my wife started to learn Indian food when we lived in Asia, and she'd be cooking for days sometimes on one particular dish. But the depth of what comes out, right? The food depth and the taste of that is just extraordinary. Is there a similarity with Ghanaian food in that it takes sometimes many, many hours, certainly maybe even days, to cook certain types of meals?
Indeed, we do have some, food that it's kind of tedious to prepare. You have to make preparation for many hours or even before the next day. And I also want to add that we like spicy food, similar to Indians as well. And so if you have the tongue for it, you can actually have very spicy food from us as well.
I could attest to that, Ruby. This is Dana, because of my time in Ghana. I just fell in love with the food, the culture, and then I came back to the U.S. and tried to replicate that and have what I called a taste of Ghana, like the full experience, not just the food, the clothing, the music, and everything. And my neighbors, two of their children were going to be the ones to help rename the guest, because you're assigned a name based on the day that you're born. So every guest was going to be renamed. And what they failed to realize is that the jollof rice, which the kids went for right away because it looks like red rice, it was the spiciest thing on the table and their faces were flushed red. But the experience in Ghana, even like we're eating with your hands and having a little bowl to wash your hands in. I remember my grandmother in Alabama, when she would eat greens and cornbread, she would eat it that way. And I never knew where it originated. Now I know. Like, you just start connecting dots when you get to travel, you know?
By the way, these foods like Ghana and India, we need to eat with our hands because it's spicy, one thing. Another thing is that they say we have taste buds in our fingertips, and it's much tastier when you eat with your own hands.
I will agree. I agree with you on that.
I agree.
I like
Trish.
Yeah.
I'll just add to that. Thanks, Shankar, for bringing that up. And if I may just go on the culture trip, you know. So the whole idea is that, you know, there are 5 elements which sort of we all operate in and we work on. And when we eat with our hands, we have all the 5 elements which are involved in the food. That's one. Second is the nerve endings on the fingertips go straight to the brain, and which is why you can relish your food far better, because the brain sort of understands what you are putting in your mouth, and that's how the taste buds get activated, and that is how, you know, you're able to savor and understand every food morsel that goes in and relish it and you know, eat it like that. You know, so and India is you must definitely, I mean, while you visit Mona's facility, but Ruby, you must try and see if we can have a gastronomical trip into India, because every region that you go to, of course, Mumbai is like many other metros of the world. It's a cosmopolitan place. So now we have Japanese food and Mexican food and what have you, all of that. But there are very specific places within India where you get very specific regional food. So every region has a food which is, you know, kind of dedicated to that particular region, and the taste is so from Mumbai to Pune, you'll find there's a difference in the taste with the same food. And like Mona rightly said, even the biryanis change, you know. So if you're talking about biryani on the coastal region, where we use most of fish, or there's meat, or there's chicken, or lamb, or you know, all of that, or then vegetarian, that cooked somewhere down south will be very different in its taste. And biryani essentially, and now since we were talking about biryani, I just like to, and I love biryani personally, and I'm a meat eater, so vegetarian biryanis, I love them on certain dates, but you know, I'm more of a fish eater and a chicken eater. I don't eat lamb. But having said that, the most tastiest of the biryanis comes in from you know, with the lamb cooked in it. So, and there is also a method of cooking. So if you really see, the biryani is also made in layers. There are layers and layers and layers of food which are kind of put in. So, right, and there are certain regions like, you know, you have possibly the Rajasthani region, which is the complete west, you know, on the up west side, or then further down south, where there is an element of charcoal which is kept inside the earthen pot, and it is wrapped up, because then the flavor of the food, one is the earthen pot lends its flavor, the smell and the flavor of the earth. The second is the charcoal gives a little bit of a burnt you know, end to it, so which tastes even better. And finally,
it's like a shortcut to barbecue.
Absolutely, yeah. And then, so that the flavors remain within the food while the biryani is cooking. And like Doug said, of course, there has to be, you know, there is one whole day spent in just preparation of the biryani. The biryani is covered with a lid. So the vessel is a huge vessel, and you kind of cover it with the lid. And there is a dough covering which is kept. So it actually seals the entire vessel. And all the flavors, including the charcoal smell and the you know, the burnt taste and the flavor of the vessel or the earthen pot, it all sort of remains within the biryani, and the biryani comes out smelling absolutely delicious. My mouth is watering as I speak of it, you know. So, but it is a food, it is a dish to die for, and you must come. And I would love to share the recipe of the biryani, and imagine that added with a dash of saffron to it, a dash of, you know, you have almonds and cashews and potatoes and onions and everything put into it, and tomatoes and everything put into it, and the meat. So the meat is also savored or marinated in curd, so that also leaves a little bit of the oily this to it. And it is out of the world, literally. So you must come to really taste it and enjoy it.
It sounds inviting. I want some. My fingertips are excited.
Yeah, absolutely. So someday, perhaps if I come to Ghana or you all come here, I would definitely love to treat you to one. Of course, it'll be home cooked or it'll be cooked by me or by my mother, but it'll not have a restaurant kind of a taste. But yeah, it is still very flavorful and very nice. So that amongst many others, and it's a perennial favorite of everybody in the country. So there is no individual in the country that you'll find, right from Jammu Kashmir down to Kanyakumari, or right from Mumbai on the west to the Calcutta on the east. You'll not find a single soul who does not know biryani or mutton biryani and who does not favor sort of love it. So it's the all-time favorite.
If you all come for a gastronomic tour to India, we have to plan it in such a way that if you have biryani the other day, then we have to plan something very light the next day. Otherwise,
very light. Or just rest. Yeah, just rest. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, just rest it out completely, because there's so much into it that's happening that you need to rest the next day.
You need to rest.
Yeah.
Now I have a good reason to make that trip to India. And it has to
you
be
must,
very soon.
Yeah.
Great. Do we have any other experience in the room?
I also wanted to say something related, and that is, I've always seen that food is laid out so beautifully in some parts of the world. And that reminds me that they say there are two guests always at the dining table. One is you and one is your soul, which is why Aparna, when she said about the five senses are really the ministers of the soul. It actually brings a certain presence and a more refined part of you. But having said that, the beautiful arrangement of the food, I was told, was actually brought about by Da Vinci, who created this arrangement of food, because he believes, and we all know, that many times it is around the food that our best thoughts come about. That's why conversations and food. And when I went to Italy, there was this gentleman who was explaining that Italians are so refined that when they are served the soup, their conversations are of a certain kind. When the main course arrives, they adjust their conversations accordingly. And when the dessert comes, the conversations become sweeter. And I don't know much of experience, but this is what he told us. So conversations and dinner very well goes together.
That's great, and thanks for sharing. I think Fred will have to leave. If anybody has a question directed to Fred, I think you can do so now. Otherwise, Fred, thank you for joining. I know you have to run away now.
Thank you so much. It's lovely to meet all of you.
Thank you so much. Could you, before you leave, could you just make one more comment on COVID and the impact it's had on the food industry in Ghana and maybe in Africa? I understand maybe COVID has not really impacted the region there as much as it has in other areas. Have the restaurants been open? Are things fully open? What's the status, and what do you imagine going forward?
I mean, like the rest of the world, we all, it was a global impact really on all different types of industries, and hospitality and particularly was quite hit because of the different sanctions that were imposed. Not sanctions, but rules, that governed social distancing and isolation and things of that nature. Restaurants in Ghana were shut down. There was a point when everything was shut down. For us in catering, for example, we started, I can speak for myself, we started selling food curbside every day because events were canceled, were banned. There was a ban on events for, close to 10, 11 months. And for us, events is where we relish, right? That's where we thrive. And that wasn't happening. There was a big ban on events. So we had to start a curbside service so we could still be able to reach our customers by delivery and things of that nature. Dine-in only became a thing again last fall, so about last August. Things started slowly opening up again before the Christmas season. But you know, we're still recovering. You know, we took quite a hit, and unfortunately, you know, with the economic crisis that we're experiencing right now as well, while things are now getting better from COVID, financially, you know, as an economy, we're not doing that well. So it's impacting business and, you know, the cedi to the dollar rate, and there's just, we're in a bit of a tiff right now, but I'm sure we'll get, you know, this too shall pass, you know. So we're thriving, we're doing the best we can. Restaurants are open now. I don't think that they're at capacity the way they would have expected themselves to be, but everyone is thriving and doing the best we can under the circumstances.
No, that's great. I did notice in the last few weeks, we can't get into a restaurant anymore. They're so crowded, and it may be, this is in Scottsdale, Arizona, and it may be because some restaurants have gone out of business and now people are just wanting to get to restaurants.
Yes.
You may go through the same cycle. I don't know.
We may.
Doug, I don't know whether, sorry.
Shankar, are you saying something?
Yeah, I was just trying to say that I don't know whether it's because of COVID or not, but recently in Ahmedabad, there are 2 restaurants that have brought about robotics as waiters.
A robot waiter. Yep, that is a trend for sure.
Yeah.
Have you seen that, Ruby, yet? Do you have a robot helping you in any place in Ghana yet?
Not in Ghana yet, but I just want to add to what Fred said. You know, refreshingly on Sunday, the president spoke and actually has opened up Ghana. And so our land borders that has been closed for almost 2 years are now open. Business is now as usual. There's no mask mandate anymore. And so a lot of the restrictions have been lifted. That was on Sunday. So restaurants, hotels, everything is, you know, fully back on now. So anyone planning a visit to Ghana, you will enjoy it. And I think we have Emmanuel from...
okay, let me say a quick thank you and ciao, ciao.
Yes, thank you, Fred. All right, cheers.
Yes, thank you very much. A very good afternoon and evening, morning, depending on where you are. My name is Emmanuel Frimpong. I am the Executive Secretary for Ghana Tourism Federation. It is the umbrella body for all the private tourism practitioners in Ghana, where the restaurants and the chefs associations are part of our federation. So pretty much what we are discussing, I'm excited about it, and food is science, is everything. I just wanted to contribute to the question that Doug asked Fred with regards to the impact of COVID on our restaurants and eating places. As Fred alluded to, COVID really impacted on our industry, and we have a lot of restaurants that closed down. And unfortunately, even when we opened up, they couldn't come back because they lost their investment. People lost their jobs, others lost their livelihoods. But the encouraging thing was that those who were also smart enough looked at the possibility of doing takeaways. That is, prepare food and then get in touch with their customers through social media, and then we're able to actually sell food without people necessarily coming to the hotels. And those ones have managed to stay in business. But we are trying to get back on our feet. It hasn't been that easy with Russia, Ukraine war hanging around, and Ghana also having its own challenges. But I think the time has come for us to develop our food together, look at how possible India, Ghana, and even other countries can look at gastronomy, which for United Nations World Tourism Organization has been on their table for the past 2 years. And I believe it is time for all of us to scale up some of these conversations and look at how best we can innovate in the way we have been preparing our traditional foods, because things are changing. We can't continue to prepare the way our forefathers prepared the food. We need to look at the scientific way of preparing the same food and packaging it, making it more attractive to people so that we can look at it as business. Unfortunately, for most of our people, they still see preparing food something that their forefathers, their grandmothers handed to them. So they are not looking at the scientific aspect of it and making it a business rather than just cooking and selling it to a few people, and that is all. So I am excited to be part of this conversation, and I'm looking forward to more of it, and probably get a federation to be involved in this, because I know it will really benefit us. So thank you.
Thank you, Manuel. That was wonderful contribution, from you. I see Catherine Reid. Hi, how are you? You want to take the floor and share your experiences? I saw you say you can source for robots for those who are interested.
I don't know that I have so much to contribute to this wonderful conversation. I'm just listening and and enjoying. So,
have you been to Ghana, Catherine?
No, I haven't actually.
Okay, so we have a job to do. We have to find some business for Catherine in Ghana. Absolutely.
Yes.
That's well noted.
Ruby, I see Salam. I think it may be Salam in Ethiopia might have joined us.
Oh, has she? Okay. Hi, Salam, are you there?
Yes. Hi, Ruby. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Good to have you. Yes, we'd like to hear from you. You're muted.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Great.
Hi, Ruby. Hi, Doug. Well, I've just joined on the second half of the meeting. I had another meeting, but it was really interesting. And well, just to say a few things, I know I just heard the last speakers, but on the restaurant part, especially if we look at Addis, I think Addis hasn't been totally locked down, and especially COVID didn't affect that much. Mostly it was open, but the fact that things are being expensive and stuff has affected the restaurants. But apart from that, it was really open, and everything is really lively. Back to you, Doug.
Fantastic. Great to see you, Salam.
Same here.
Okay. So I think we do have some few more minutes to go. I'm happy to open the floor for people to introduce themselves. Those who haven't spoken yet, feel free to come on, tell us who you are, where you are joining us from, so that we can better know each other. Shall I call names?
I'll go first. How about that?
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I don't have my webcam on at the moment. Yeah, so I work with Katie from London Global Chamber. We sort of partnered in a company. I work for a company called Currency UK. So we specialize in corporate foreign exchange for international businesses. And I've been on a few of these calls with Katie recently, looking at all of the interesting industries coming in and out of Ghana in particular, in lots of the food and sort of fruit and veg and produce and things. So it's very, very exciting. Actually, it's kind of a newbie for me. I've not visited that part of Africa before. I'd like to. I've kind of done sort of southern more and a little bit of Zimbabwe and Namibia, but not over to Ghana yet. So hopefully I'll find an excuse to come over. But basically what we do is we just we work with any international businesses that have a foreign currency requirement. So I know someone, you were talking earlier about the steady US dollar exchange rate. So we sort of facilitate that. So my details are in the chat. If anybody wants to have any questions, give me a shout.
Great. Thank you. Apana, I know you've spoken, but you're next. If you can just say what you do at your end through the Global Chamber, etc.
Hi, thanks, Ruby. Thanks for that. I know I spoke quite a bit, but I'll just take a quick minute. So my name is Aparna Randive. I lead the Mumbai chapter of Global Chamber as Executive Director. And we are, like Ruby said, we're perhaps the only global chamber or other chamber of commerce which has so many chapters and where we believe in making warm connections to people. And apart from that, I wear another hat which is called the Gateway to India. I'm basically an HR professional, but done many hats before. But the Gateway to India is essentially, trying to put India on the global map in terms of, the whole experience of India. So like I was talking so passionately about food, I'm equally passionate about the culture, the traditions, the entire Indian experience, as it were. And India is a land of many, many cultures rolled up into one, many, many countries rolled up into one, literally. So anybody who is really looking out for experiencing India as it is, and the mystical and the land of culture tradition, I'll be more than happy to help. So happy to connect and collaborate with people.
Thank you. Shankar, you want to tell us more about yourself? I know you spoke earlier, but your mic.
I'm based out of Ahmedabad, which is on the on the western side as much as Aparna's is, probably a 40-45 minute flight away from Mumbai. And Gujarat is supposedly the entrepreneurial capital of India, having some of the top businesses which are at the global scale operate from Gujarat. So as executive director, I like to facilitate almost all aspects of business, whether it is trade or investment, exports, anything. Please reach out and, they probably would be part of our membership or even our extended network. So we can always bring something of value to anybody wanting to do business with Gujarat, which is the state I am from. Thank you and look forward.
Thank you. Catherine, tell us where you're joining us from.
I'm joining from Austria today. Yeah, and I do a lot of work with food and beverages, but mostly between Europe, especially, and Eastern Europe and Asia. So yeah, and as you maybe can hear, I'm originally from the UK.
I can tell. Thank you. Can we have Lisa? Lisa, are you here? Okay, we'll go to Mami then. Mami from Golden Tulip. What do you have serving today? Mami, are you there? Mami from Golden Tulip Hotel? Okay, I'll come back to you. Nihi,
Yeah, hello. Can you hear me?
yes, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, Nihi Sanusi from Nigeria. I'm calling from Lagos. It's always a pleasure to be in Accra. The first time I ate bamboo was obviously in Accra. I had never heard of it before.
I think we've lost you. Are you there? Okay, let's go to Dana.
And the first time I ate rice with
yeah,
that you eat rice with okra, I enjoyed it and it was quite nice. So I'm calling.
Thank you, Nehi. I see Debbie joining us from Lagos as well.
Hi, everyone. Compliments of the season. Okay, so I missed out on a lot, but I guess we are talking about food. So food, I go to Ghana a lot every year, and I'm used to eating the food. It's good. And well, I think the things we have in common would be rice and fufu. Yeah. And for Indian food, I love the chicken. I can't remember the name. There's a way they do the chicken that is curry in it, and really nice. I love most of their delicacies. And yeah, so pretty much, I'm not a foodie like that, but when I can be picky. But both culture, I've tasted the food, and the food, both sides are okay. With Indian, I think we have some things in common. I think okra, they use okra in different ways, and I also learned some ways. Yeah, they do their okra too, that we don't do here. So yeah, pretty much I guess I'm talking in line with everything that has been spoken before. I don't know.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you. Tell us about your role in Nigeria.
Okay. Right. The executive director for Global Chamber Lagos, and I'm into humanitarian service. I do some things with the UN. I also have my business in image consulting and corporate event management. We handle a yearly export training seminar, but not had any last year. Yeah, so basically the export seminar is to open everyone's like an orientation, and also like a direction to where exports in Nigeria is going, and things that are available and countries that need it. Yeah, so that's basically what I do.
Great. Shall we have Dana?
Yes. Thank you, Ruby. This is Dana in Atlanta, Georgia. And Debbie, I'm making a connection with you today, so be on the lookout for that email. One thing we do well, I know we do well at Global Chamber, is soft introductions. And so I'm Dana Austin. I'm right here in Atlanta, Executive Director for Global Chamber. I'm a best-selling author, and I also help people get their books written and their manuscripts done in 90 days if they sign up for the challenge. I'm also a public speaker and a healthcare professional. I'm glad to be here. And food to me is, I'm not the philosopher that Shankar is, but it brings us together, and it's the soul that connects us. It's a soul connector around the world. That's what the title I give to it. And Indian food in particular, I love the flavors, and I meant to mention roti earlier, and the chana, and of course, Ghanaian food. Everything is excellent. And my favorite to make is the jollof rice, and I make sobolo.
That's nice.
Yeah, I'm waiting for my honorary citizenship to Ghana, Ruby. If you can help move that along.
We'll have to fast track that for you.
Please, please.
Nice one. Okay, have I missed anyone? I think Terry, are you there? Terry is not available. Shall we have, who else is missing? Blessing?
Hi.
Yes, take the floor.
Yeah. Okay. My name is Blessing. Okay, I call from Ghana, Accra, Ghana. I work with Human Resource Business Investment Center Limited, which is simply put HRBIC. It's a business, a company that produces offer business solutions and consulting service, which focus on providing a complete suite of end-to-end business solutions to customers and partners. So we have experienced professionals who have successfully led and implemented complex business projects nationwide in Ghana here. And so we have, we also do recruitment. We do HR book handwriting. We on our recruitment schedules, we do recruitment like executive head hunting recruitment, and then standard recruitment, and then we also do recruitment for unskilled and skilled labor, and then also we offer internship to fresh graduates, and also we do reference and background checks for companies, also business setup solutions. All these will also do engage on company registrations. So should work for you in your company when you consult us, we look to link you up. So we're all over Accra, and also we look forward to work with any other person worldwide.
Thank you, Blessing. Thank you so much. And to end it, Mami, are you back from Golden Tulip Hotel? Are you back on?
Hi, I'm back. Sorry for had a little bit of challenge. Sorry.
No problem. The floor is yours. What's cooking and
so this is right. So a lot is cooking at Golden Tulip this afternoon. So Golden Tulip offers so much for our clients and for all our members on the platform this afternoon who have not been to Accra, or if you have been to Accra and yet to visit Golden Tulip, you are highly welcome to visit us. We run a buffet, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and our buffet highlights a lot of our indigenous dishes. However, we position our dishes in such a way that we look at clientele base and also offer things to match up the level of clientele base that we have. I'm the HR manager for Golden Tulip and a member of the Hospitality and Tourism Sector Skills Body. Also a member of the Chefs Certification Program. So the Ghana Chefs Association is coming up with a certification to certify chefs in Ghana as a strategy to develop the skill set of chefs and to make sure that we raise the standard level of the chefs in the country. And so happens to be a member of that committee as well. That's my role. Currently at Golden Tulip, I'm in charge of human resources. And I've enjoyed the afternoon program. I'm happy to be part. A lot has been learned, a lot has been shared. And I'm looking forward to meet all and host all those who are yet to visit Golden Tulip. And I'll reemphasize, if you are in Ghana, just visit us on Sunday and any other day. Thank you.
Thank you. Hi, Terry, I see you've come on now. Your microphone is off.
Hello, do you hear me? Hello, do you hear me?
We can hear you, go ahead.
Quickly, I'm Thierry Levine. I'm here in Park City, Utah, in Central Rockies Mountain, and we are located between Denver and California. Basically, we are the Central Chain Mountain. I'm Thierry Levine, I'm one of the two global advisors for the state of Utah. Roughly, I'm a multi-hat guy working from the cinema, media to entrepreneur, but basically, I'm your point of contact to bring your products, projects, local representation at your companies in this part of the USA, but this is my firm work. And on the side, I'm an entrepreneur, like Mona, like all you all, and I work in projects involving movies, food, tourism, and social media, unixen.com. I do a lot of things. Go to my LinkedIn. Voilà.
Thank you. In closing, Doug, do you have any closing remarks so that we put this to an end, please? Thank you.
I think we reaffirmed today that food brings us together. I think one of the things that helps being a global tribe member is to like food and to appreciate food. And similarly, like business for us is engaging and entertaining and exciting and deep and changing and evolving. So is food. And so in many ways, food and camaraderie around the table is very comparable to doing business anywhere around the world. So Ruby, thank you and Aparna for bringing this program to us together for us today. And I think tonight we're all either going to eat Ghanaian food or Indian food for sure. So thank you for bringing a reminder that we need to eat some good food today. Thank you.
Thank you. Mona, you want to say your closing words?
Just thank you. And, I'm so excited and I really want to come to Accra. And there's one festival that I've heard about is the Voodoo Festival that's very popular in Ghana and the upper regions of Africa. So I really look forward to traveling when all this opens up, and, maybe next year, we'll definitely plan. And I do want to try Ghana food as well. So, and of course, you all are all welcome to come to India and of course to my facility, but of course to India as well, because a lot has opened up over here, and too many things have come up, like beautiful hotels and spas and Ayurveda, yoga, and many things. So keep that on your bucket list for maybe next year or this year. And once again, it's a pleasure being a member of the Global Chamber, because you just meet so many people with similar interests. So thank you once again for letting me speak on this event. Thank you.
Thank you. And many thanks to everyone for joining us today. Please look out for our next one, the last Tuesday of April. We'll be delighted to host you again very soon. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you very much. Thanks. Bye, everybody. Bye-bye.
Okay,
Bye, everyone.
Cheers.
Bye, Ruby. Bye, Doug.
Bye, everybody.
Bye,
This was
Aparna.
excellent. Bye, guys. Thank you, Aparna. Thank you, Ruby.
Thank you, Dana. I appreciate your time.
Thank you, Dana.
Yes,
Thank you.
I already got a connection from my residency or in the chat room. I'm gonna work on it.
Fantastic.
You
Go
said
for it.
fast track. I didn't think it would be that fast. Have a good one, guys.
All right.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
See you all soon.
And everyone.
What was wrong with that rooster in the background? There, I thought roosters were supposed to crow in the early morning.
Maybe someone is in the workplace.
It could be a ringtone, Doug. It could be a ringtone for all you know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, probably. You're right, Mona.
Take care, everybody.
All right. Cheers,
Bye.
everyone. Bye.
Take care.